Well, hi everyone. We got a practice test here. Just wanted to give, in case if you're watching this, you're trying to study, so good for you. And just some questions. The first two questions, giving sets of ordered pairs as a relation, has an x and a y correspondence. And the domain are the x coordinates here. So I would write -2, 5, 3, and -6. The range, I would write 3. I would not write 3 again. Then I'd write 7. And these are the y coordinates. And then -4. If there's a repeat, only write the element once in the set. Now, is it a function? So in a function, I'm going to write the mapping here. So you got -2, you got 5, you got 3, and you got -6 in your domain. And in your range, you have 3 and 7 and -4. The -2 goes to 3, so does the 5. The 3 goes to the 7, and the -6 goes to the -4. So is this relation that we have here, -2 and 5, just showing that they both go to the 3, is it a function? This is not it. Okay. It is okay for two different items in the domain to go to the range, same element in the range, but vice versa, it would not be okay. The domain, each element in the domain has exactly one place it goes to in the range. So, yes. And I would write each element in the domain goes to one element and exactly one element in the range. Okay, let's try this one. So the domain, we're talking 3, 7, -2. I've already got 3 here, so I'm not going to write it over. The range, we have 8, -3, -4, and -5. I'm going to map again. I've got my 3, 7, -2 from the domain. I'm going to map it over to the range. 8, -3, -4, -5. 3 goes to 8. 7 goes to -3. -2 goes to -4. And the 3 also goes to -5. Now, here's the no-no. An element in the domain cannot map onto two different elements. It's got to be exactly one element. 3 goes to, so I'm putting no, by the way. I put yes on that one. I'm putting no on this one. 3 goes to 8 and -5. So 3 in the domain is going to two different values in the range, and that can't happen in a function. It is a relation, but it's just not a function. All right, which graphs are functions? I got this on this page and that next page. If you remember the vertical line test, it's kind of like the 3 going to 8 and -5. This value, like at 1/2, goes to here, goes to here, and goes to here. It's going to 3 different values. So I'm not going to circle that one. This one does pass the vertical line test. Each x goes to exactly one value for y. So I'm going to circle that one. This one is not passing the vertical line test. You can see a couple places here, any vertical line, it hits it twice. So I'm not going to circle that one. I think we're good on this one. This one does pass the vertical line test, so I will circle that. So the second and fourth graph I circled as functions. Linear functions. Let's circle the ones, which of the following are linear functions. This should be x squared, by the way. I'm going to kind of correct that. Now, this is a linear function. If the x and y are to the first power and they're just multiplication and addition or subtraction involved, we're good with that. And the variables aren't being multiplied by each other. Cannot have a squared variable. X squared is the reason why. Y equals 4, that is a horizontal line, and that is a linear function. Okay? This is the problem. You cannot divide by your variable, so I'm not going to circle that one. You can't take the square root of a variable. I'm not going to circle that. These are functions. They're just not going to make lines. They're not linear functions. On this one, like this one, we're dividing by variables. Not going to circle that one. The x is up here on this one. That's the same as 4/5 x. I am going to circle that one. Okay, slopes of the line here. Number 5. I'm inclined to take these intercepts. Here's the x-intercept, here's the y-intercept. I'm going up 2. I'm going right 3. The slope is the rise. Let me write that. Rise over run. And in this case, it's 2 over 3. Horizontal line does not rise at all, but it has all sorts of run. The slope of this one is, I'll put m equals 0. Vertical line, okay, do you remember, this is a Hoy problem. 0 is the slope for a horizontal line. This is a Vux problem. Vertical has undefined slope. You cannot divide by 0 if you were trying that. This one, I'm going to look, you just have to find 2 points. I'm finding the intercepts are pretty nicely placed on these two. There might be ones that are not so easy to see, but I'm going to go down 2 and right 1. The rise is -2. The run is 1. I'll just write that as m equals -2. Now, my directions, find the slopes of the lines shown. We showed 4 lines. We have 3 of them here described. And this is where we're going to use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 when we are going to find the slope. So I'm going to take 7 minus 4 over -3 minus -3, and that's 3. -3 minus -3, that's -3 plus 3. Any way you look at it, that's 0. And you cannot divide by 0, you cannot divide by 0, you cannot divide by 0. So that means the slope is undefined. I'm going to do y2, 6, minus y1, 8, over x2, -5, minus x1, -2. 6 minus 8 is -2. -5 minus -2, that's -5 plus 2, is -3. The negatives can cancel out, so we'll go with the, put m there. Slope is 2/3 on that one. And this one, I'm going to take 8 minus 8 over 5 minus -2. That's 0. 8 minus 8 is 0. This is 5 plus 2, which is 7. 0 divided by 7 is 0. We can divide by 7. We divide 0 by 7. So having an undefined slope is when 0 is in the denominator. Having 0 for a slope is when 0 is in the numerator. And 0 is a number, so we're good there. All right. Using the equation 5x plus 4y equals 10, this is in standard form, give the x-intercept and y-intercept of the graph of the line. So the x-intercept happens when y is 0. I'm going to put 0 in for y in this equation and find out what x is. That's 5x. 4 times 0 is 0. 5x plus 0 equals 10. 5x and 0 is 5x. And then divide by 5, and I get x equals 2. So 2, 0, that is the x-intercept. 2 is the y, or 2 is the x-intercept. 0 is the y-coordinate for the x-intercept. And then for the y-intercept, I'm going to put 0 in for x, and that gives me 5 times 0 plus 4y equals 10. 5 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 4y equals 10. 0 and 4y make 4y. Divide by 4. Y equals, if you take 10 divided by 4, that's 5 divided by 2. Divide top and bottom by 2. That's 2.5. Okay? Now, part B, use the intercepts to graph the line. Well, 2, 0 is right here. 0, 2.5. 1, 2.5 is right here. And grab a note card real quick here, and I'll just draw a line through there. I used the 2 points to decide where I was putting my note card to use for a straight line, straight edge there. All right, number 7 through 10. Write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form with the given characteristics. Line has a slope of 2. This is m, isn't it? Passes through the point -6, -3. So I'm going to write down y equals mx plus b. I'm going to use the -3 for the y, 2 for the slope, -6 for the x, plus b. -3 equals -12 plus b. I'll add 12 to both sides. -3 and 12 make 9. That's 0 plus b is b. So I got b is 9. I know m is 2. My equation has y left as a variable. 2 is in place of the m. I need a number for m. X left as a variable. And I need the number 9 for b. So I'm done there. Now number 8. I'm passing through 4, 4 and 1, -5. The slope, let's find it first. I'm going to take -5 minus 4 over 1 minus 4 again. -5 minus 4, that is -9. 1 minus 4 is -3. -9 divided by -3 is +3. So y is equal to mx plus b. I'm going to use 4, 4 for my x and y, and I've got 3 has to be my m. So if y is 4, then m is 3, x is 4, plus b. 4 equals 12 plus b. Subtract 12, I've got -8 equaling b. Y equals m, which is 3x, plus -8. I'll just write that as -8. So there's the second one. Okay, now we have the perpendicular and parallel questions here. So I'm passing through the point 8, -1, and I'm perpendicular to this line. The only thing I want from this line is m is equal to -4. That's the only piece of information I'm interested in for that line. I don't care about the y-intercept to answer my question. Okay, well, if it is perpendicular, the perpendicular slope for -4, this is -4/1. I would flip it and make it 1/4 and change the negative and change it to positive. So m is 1/4. Y is equal to mx plus b. I'm passing through 8, -1. So I'm going to put -1 for y. I'm going to use 1/4 for m. I'm going to put 8 in for x and go plus b. So I got -1, 1/4 of 8 is 2, plus b. Subtract 2 from both sides, I got -3 is equal to b. My answer, I need to use this for m, 1/4 x, and b is -3, 1/4 x minus 3. So you go through this. If you have an equation here that it's perpendicular to, you just want to get the information out of it. That you want to get is the slope. Now number 10 passes through the point 8, -2. I'll write that for my x and y, is parallel. So when you're doing this, make sure you circle those key words. Parallel, that is same slope. Okay, I had somebody come in, so I'm back to this. We're passing through 8, -2. We are parallel, so the slope is the same. The slope here is 3. The slope of the parallel line is also 3. This is my little parallel symbol there. So we're using the 3 for the slope. Y equals mx plus b. We keep going back to that. Y is -2, m is 3. We did not change it for parallel. X is 8 plus b. So I got -2 equals 24 plus b. And I subtract 24. I got -26 equals b. And y equals 3x, use the 3 for the slope, minus 26, -26 for the y-intercept. So I got that line made. Okay, number 11. The surface of Grand Lake is at an elevation of 648 feet. During the current drought, the water level is dropping at a rate of 3 inches per day. If this trend continues, write an equation that gives the elevation in feet. You have to keep that in mind. Of the surface of Grand Lake after X days. Okay, you see a rate here, right? It's dropping at a rate of 3 inches. But rate kind of goes with slope. And in this one, we're talking 3 inches per day. You see the word per is in there also. That is a pretty good sign that that's the slope. But we're doing everything in feet. We got to keep our units consistent. Now, there are 1 foot is 12 inches. So 3 inches over 12 inches, that's 3/12 of a foot. And 3/12 of a foot is 1/4 of a foot. So 3 inches per day is 1/4. Now you could divide that out. Why don't we do decimals? 0.25 feet per day. We'll go for that for the slope. Now, the 648 is kind of the beginning amount on day 0 or whatever for our problem. And a beginning amount kind of goes with the y-intercept. We got the slope, we got the y-intercept, we got the equation. Well, so y is the elevation, and it's dropping, so I'm going to go, yeah, I should have done negative there. Negative 0.25 slope, x is the number of days, plus 648. Okay, that's the one where we were given the slope and the beginning amount. And just write the equation. All right, you guys take care.